Chapter 2.2, Exponents and Multiplication. The key concept today, we'll be talking about multiplying numbers or variables with the same base. So before we begin, let's review. In my number 3 to the second power, or 3 squared, the 3 is my base and the 2 is my exponent. So when we're multiplying numbers with the same base, or numbers with exponents, they have to have the same base. So the key concept says to multiply numbers or variables with the same base, add the exponents. And I want to emphasize this. We're going to add the exponents together. So let's take a look here at 3 squared times 3 to the 4th power. And let's break down what this really means. 3 squared is the same as 3 times 3. 3 to the 4th is the same as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So if I were to multiply these all together, I have the same base, 3, and I'm multiplying that base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So this, I'm going to take my exponent of 2 and add my exponent of 4. 3 to the 2 plus 4, or 3 to the 6th power. I take the 3's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that becomes my new exponent. So let's take a look from an algebraic standpoint. Here I have a to the m power times a to the n power. Since my bases are the same, I can keep the base and add my exponents, m plus n. Since I don't know what a, m, or n are equivalent to, this is as simplified as I can make this algebraic expression. So let's go over here to example 1 and take a look at how we apply multiplying numbers and by adding the exponents. So here I have negative 2 and times negative 2, my base is the same. So I keep the base as negative 2, and now I'm going to add the exponents, 3 and 5. 3 plus 5 equals negative 2 to the 8th power. Again, if I was to expand this out, negative 2 to the 3rd power is the same as saying negative 2 times negative 2 times just kidding. Hang on, folks. Times negative 2, negative 2 to the 3rd, times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Now if I count these, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, which is where my 3 plus 5 comes from. So the answer to negative 2 to the 3rd times negative 2 to the 5th power is negative 2 to the 8th power. Feel free and stop now and complete quick check number 1, or you can keep going on to example 2 and 3 and complete all of the quick checks at the end. So example 2, finding area of a triangle. I see that my length is x to the 2nd power, my width is x, so what is my area? Well, I know the formula for area, which you should always write down, equals length times width. My length is x squared times my width of x. Now, remember that there is an unstated exponent of 1 right here. It's 1x by itself. So this would be x to the 2 plus 1 power, or x to the 3rd power. I can double check my work by saying x times x, or x squared, times x again. There are 1, 2, 3 x's that I'm multiplying together. So I have an exponent of 3, so my answer is correct. Example, this would have units if you were given units, but because I don't have any, I'm not including units at this time. But if it was x feet and x squared feet, it would be x to the 3rd, or x cubed feet squared. If that's confusing, just forget your units right now. We'll talk about units later. So example 3. This example is going to work with the commutative property. So here I have -3 times x squared times 5 times x to the 4th power. So I'm going to break each of my terms, each of my factors here, apart. -3 times x squared times 5 times x to the 4th. Now I'm going to use the commutative property, and I'm going to switch these around. I'm going to take these two and I'm going to switch them so that my numbers are together, -3 times 5, and my exponents are together. So now I've rearranged it, -3 times 5 times x squared times x to the 4th power. And now I'm going to simplify my numbers, and then I will simplify my variables. So -3 times 5 is -15 times x to the 2 plus 4, or -15 times x to the 6th power. And this is my simplified answer. Now notice, when I went to -3x squared, the square stays with the variable. These stay together, and these stay together. The variable does not apply to the -3, or the exponent, the exponent does not apply to the -3. The exponent of 4 does not apply to the 5. It only applies to the variable it is directly touching. So please go ahead and complete the quick checks and the check your understanding, and we will review this in the morning.